What is going on, everybody? Red Velvet is here, and I got a new hat. This came in the mail today. Some fans, one big fan of mine, got me a hat that has, I know I'm bold. I lost my glasses. It has fans. So, I'm going to put my glasses back on. I got the bright lights here. Okay. So, thank you to the person that got me this hat. Be sure to check your Snapchat. I sent you a lovely message after I opened the hat. So, thank you. All right. Hope everybody had a great weekend. It was a busy weekend, especially for Red Velvet. Friday night action. I was on the call at North Central. Saturday morning, I had to go to Clay County Softball League to watch my daughter play. Then Lee goes straight from there to the CYFL to announce 4 or 5 games. I lost count. Then leaves straight from there to go to Hybrid Championship Wrestling, where I'm going to show you a picture. There was the video due to trademarking. I can't post the video, but there's your man right there doing a sweet dance. So I was walking, I jump up in the air. Let me take the picture down, but that's me midair of a dance move. So I'm walking, jump up, flip over onto my stomach into the worm. I've always said I'm a nimble man for being over 300 pounds. So don't judge me. Don't doubt me. Don't judge me. Got to plug my computer back in. I forgot I unplugged it, and it's beeping at me. Okay. All right. So I hope everybody had a great weekend. It's been busy. A lot to talk about. Real quick, I do want to give our sponsors a shout, and there they are. Wabash Valley Plumbing, RJs Formalwear, celebrating 40 years this year. Stitched Embroidery and Apparel, and Haute Co. Thank you to those sponsors. If you would like to become a sponsor, please reach out. We have packages available. Also, thank you to our subscribers. For 99 cents a month, you can subscribe on Facebook. That's how you got to do it. You click that button right there, and follow the instructions there. All right. That's enough of the shameless plugs. Thank you, subscribers. Thank you, sponsors. Thank you, fans. Thank you, parents. Thank you, coaches. Thank you, players. Let's get down to business. We'll start off with high school volleyball. Northview took on Park Heritage. The Knights do sweep 3-0. Carson Buck, 9 kills, 2 aces, and 4 digs. Brindley Deacons, 7 aces and 15 digs. Kaylee Krause, 3 kills and 2 blocks. Audrey Stagg, 6 kills, 2 blocks, and 2 digs. Carmen Briscoe had an ace, 2 digs, and 9 assists. And then Northview took on Linton. Knights win 3-1. Carson Buck again leading the way. Pretty big stat line. She gets a double-double. I don't know if that's a thing in volleyball, but she gets a double-double in my book. 23 kills, 10 digs, and an assist. Cambry Schultz had 3 aces. Tori Dehart, 2 kills, an ace, a block, and a dig. Brindley Deacons had an ace, 13 digs, and 3 assists. Maggie Wilson, 5 digs, 27 assists. That's a big stat line to me. That's a lot. Like, we're talking Rodman numbers at this point in time. And then Addie Dehart, 20 assists as well. Moving along to soccer. Boys soccer took on Brown County. The varsity wins 2-1. JV lost to Brown County 1-0. Girls soccer faced Greencastle earlier in the week. The Tiger Cubs win 3-0. And then the Knights took on Brown County on Saturday and win 2-1. Now we get to some Friday Night Lights football action. WIC matchup, Northview 2-0, Sullivan 2-0, collide. Northview wins 48-20. Northview, some stats. I realize my camera is a little crooked. I apologize if it's still crooked. Sorry. Some stats for Northview. Colton Bath, 160 pass yards, 4 tutties, 17 carries for 12 yards, and a touchdown. Sladefeld, 9 carries, 29 yards. Quinn Lewis, baby, the Red Fury, as I dubbed him last year at some point in time. That was my nickname. I'm giving him my nickname. Quinn Lewis, 5 catches, 125 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Avery Perry and Demarius McLawyer each had a rushing touchdown. Jake Rates and Austin Brewer each with a receiving touchdown. And now we move to defense for Northview. This young man, first year playing football. I wish he would have played 10 years ago, but we'll tell you what we can get. Zane Scales, bam, 10. He got 10. 10 tackles, 1 for a loss, and 3 interceptions, and a forced fumble. Cale Allen, 5 tackles, 1 TFL, and a sack. Austin Brewer had 8 tackles, a TFL, and a forced fumble. For Sullivan, Blake Fraker, 40 pass yards and a touchdown. Clark French, 22 carries, 135 yards. Zane Catlin, 3 catches, 34 yards, 1 carry for a yard. Peyton Carlson had a rush touchdown, and Ty Hamilton with a receiving touchdown. William Hallfield, 12 tackles, 3 for a loss. Jaden Norris, 6 tackles, 2 TFLs and a sack. And Xander Friels, 3 tackles and a pick. Bloomington South took on Terre Haute North. The Panthers win 49-13. Terre Haute South took on Bloomington North, a top 25 matchup in the 5A class. The Braves shut out the Cougars, whatever Bloomington North's called. I don't know. Don't care. 23-0 Braves. Defensive stats, Greg Sanders, 8 tackles, 3 TFLs, and a sack. Sam Weihart, 6 tackles, 2 picks, and Rylan Hool with 6 tackles. Then we get to West Vigo. They went down to North Central, and it was a great game. And then there was an unfortunate accident. A young man got hurt, left in an ambulance. I'm happy to report via social media he is going to be okay. Our thoughts, prayers, and positive vibes are with him and his family and his friends. T-Birds win 49-21. Some stats for West Vigo. Reese Wilbur, 169 passing yards and 2 tutties. Ryan Cobb, 21 carries for 90 yards. And Xander Fortune, 2 catches, 48 yards. And on offense for the T-Birds, Lane Fagley, 105 yards, passing with 2 tutties. Sawyer Cox, 12 carries, 137 yards on the ground, and 2 tutties. Lane Simmons, 25 carries, 131 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Chris Benford had a reception, 52 yards, and a touchdown. Aiden White added a rushing touchdown, and William Davis a receiving touchdown. And then on the defensive side, we had Lucas Wheaton, 10 tackles, 2 for a loss. Sawyer Cox, 10 tackles and a pick. Caden Bays, 8 tackles, a TFL, and a sack. And William Davis, 6 tackles and a pick. Avon took on Hamilton Southeastern in the HCC, the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not. The Royals win 17-14, just edging out the Orioles. Linton takes on Archbishop Alter. Archbishop coming in, I believe, from Ohio. Big school, ranked school, and the Knights. Yes, they are called the Knights. It threw me off for just a second. That's not hard to do, though. Knights win 35-0. Some stats for the Miners. Russell Goodman, 32 pass yards, 9 carries, and 3 yards. Ren Cottingham, 7 carries, 28 yards, a catch for 18. Defense, Corey Andrews led the way, 9 tackles. Colton Andrews, 8 tackles and half of a TFL. Paul Oliver, 7 tackles in the other half of the TFL. Cloverdale takes on Owen Valley. The Clovers shut out Owen Valley big time, 68-0. Then we jump to some Illinois action. Richland County Tigers taking on the Salem Wildcats. The Tigers win 31-6. We have our first Monon conference, new conference. First matchup, here we go. Cascade takes on North Putt. The Cadets win 42-6. Brady Trebley, 160 passing yards and 3 tutties. Marcus Hobson, big day. 4 carries, 67 yards, a tutty, 3 catches, 53 yards, and 2 more tutties on the receiving side. I'm about to say it in the air. On the catching side. There we go. Toby Savini had a rushing touchdown. Lucas Farmer had a receiving touchdown. On defense, Tim Turner Jr., 13 tackles, 5 TFLs, a sack, and a forced fumble. Delton Howery, 3 tackles, 2 TFLs, and 2 sacks. Marcus Hobson, 3 tackles, and a pick. And then we've got a WRC matchup, Riverton Park and Fountain Central. Panthers win 34-7. Colette Sanders, 72 yards in the air, 2 tutties, 5 carries, 24 yards on the ground, and a touchdown. Sean Vester, big day. 13 carries, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 catch for 30, and another touchdown. Jackson Weil added a receiving touchdown. And then on defense, Noah Pope, 11 tackles, a TFL. Josh Ushman, 4 tackles, 3 for a loss, and 2 sacks. And Colette Sanders, 3 tackles and 2 interceptions. On offense for Fountain Central, Nolan Acton, 98 passing yards, a touchdown, and 11 carries for 9. Dakota Willoughby, 10 carries, 9 yards, and a reception. Aiden Batchelor, 2 catches, 92 yards, and a tud. And on defense, Ryan Mitchell had 18 tackles. This is a big name right here. A long name. Colby Parrish Porgolia. If I butchered any of those names, I apologize. 10 tackles, 2 TFLs, and 2 sacks. and Noah Dotson with 15 tackles. Another Monon Conference. Greencastle Tiger Cubs taking on the Frankfurt Hot Dogs. Tiger Cubs win 49-8. Cole Stevens going off. He went off, ladies and gentlemen. 421 passing yards and seven tutties. Dalton Moel, 1 carry for 20 yards. Trevin Long, 7 catches, 147 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But Caden Blodgett said, hey, I got you just a little bit more, buddy. 7 catches, 149 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And then Owen Sorrells had a receiving touchdown as well. On defense, TJ Jordan, 10 tackles, 1 for a loss, and a sack. Grayson Lindweber, 2 tackles, a TFL, a sack, and a forced fumble. Caden Blodgett also had 8 tackles and a TFL. And then we move North Davies versus Eastern Green Southwest Conference matchup. The second one, the first one was against North Central. Now they're against Eastern Green. North Davies wins. I'm going to say this as nice as I can. 75-0. That's right. I said 75-0. Keaton Graber, 63 passing yards, 9 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown. Connor Comas, 5 carries and 71 yards. Jason Jones, a catch for 39, 1 carry for 25 yards and a touchdown. And Zeb Owens had a rushing touchdown. Defense scored a lot too. Dawson Bishop had 7 tackles, 1 for a loss. Neil Cinnamon, 5 tackles, 2 TFLs, and a sack. Connor Compass, a tackle, 2 picks. 1 was a pick 6. Zeb Owens with a pick 6. Dawson Bishop, and then the big D lineman, Kason Bishop, had a fumble recovery touchdown. Congratulations. South Putt took on Edgewood, some conference matchup, WIC conference matchup to be exact. Mustangs edge out the Eagles 31-30 in double overtime. Another WRC matchup. Park Heritage takes on the Wildcats of South V. The Wolves win 32-12 on offense for the Wolves. Sawyer Monick, 112 yards in the air and a touchdown. 3 carries for a yard and a touchdown. Blake Ledke, 13 carries, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 catch for 8. Mason Wilcox had 2 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Carter Vanderhayden had another rushing touchdown. Then on defense, Vinny Goldner, 13 tackles and a pick. Clayton Burgess, big day, 9 tackles, 3 TFLs, 3 sacks, and Lucas Rhodes had 10 tackles. For the Wildcats, Ben Shyrock, 140 yards and a touchdown in the air. 19 carries, 144 yards on the ground with another touchdown. Cole Manette, 4 receptions, 73 yards and a touchdown. Colton Robertson, yes, he is a freshman, 11 tackles. Mason Larson, 9 tackles, 3 TFLs, and a sack. And Christian Peace, 5 tackles, a TFL, and a pick. Then we get to another WRC matchup. Attica coming off that hot win, taking on Seeger. It just wasn't in the cards this week for Attica. Seeger wins 57-0. Hayden Elliott had 33 yards in the air. Gunnar Payne, 33 yards on the ground. Tristan Miller had 27 yards receiving. On defense, Gunnar Payne and Seth Himes, 4 tackles. And then Denton Simmons, 2 tackles, 1 for a loss, and a sack. Now we got some North Clay middle school action. Let's get a little warm in here. I got to turn the fans on. I don't know how to do it. They're not even charged. So I just look cool in this hat then. North Clay 7th grade takes on Greencastle. The Knights win 28-14. Case Bath, 2 rushing touchdowns. One of those was a 98-yard run. Jet Barker led the team in rushing and had a touchdown. Colt Sims, several big rushing yards and a 2-point conversion. Max Stolting had a 2-point conversion as well. Kane Westfall had a sack. Colt Sims, several tackles. He had 2 sacks and a pick 6, baby. Jet Barker and Ethan Shaley, several tackles. Colton James, several tackles and a sack. Carter Coughlin and Jace Combs each had a sack. Noah Isbell with a kickoff recovery. And Max Stolting, baby, his first game of his career, interception. Congratulations. Now we move to some North Clay cross country, and there's a lot to talk about. Where's all my notes here? I don't have that other one. I look silly now. Right now, there's your Terre Haute North State preview champions, Lauren Horn and Easton Sinclair. And then the girls team did place first, and I don't have the graphic for some reason. Is it in here? We're going to search. I want to give a shout out to Lauren Horn because you broke the school record. and I can't find it. I feel embarrassed. I'm so sorry. But Lauren Horn breaks the record. Very cool accomplishment. Proud of you. Everybody is doing great at North Clay cross country. Coaches, keep it up. Runners, keep running. I watched like I run a lot, but I've seen, I talked to Coach Grounds a lot, and he said there's been a lot of athletes come through, and they're still coming. Like, that record is broken. There's been a lot of really good athletes set records there for the cross country team. So congratulations, Lauren, on breaking that record. Boys place fourth. Girls win. Some individual standings. Lauren Horn took first. Laney Hughes 6th. Blakely Hughes 12th. Tessa Horn 13th. And Kinley Knight 14th. And then on the boys' side, Easton Sinclair took first. Jack Mullinex 5th. And Landon Brewer 17th. Congratulations. Now we get to some CYFL. I don't know why I do this with my hands when I say CYFL, but I do. Gray Knights. We're in Pee Wee. Gray Knights versus Owen Valley on the road. Knights win 13-7. Congratulations. Sebastian Dighton, 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hunter McBride with 80 yards. And Tegan DeWeese, 30 yards and an extra point. On defense, Sebastian Dighton again, 8 tackles and a sack. Hunter McBride, 6 tackles, 2 TFLs and a sack. Tegan DeWeese, 5 tackles. Jensen Dirth, 2 tackles. And the one of his 2, the game-saving tackle. Congratulations, young man. Branson Sanders had 7 tackles. Oliver Jemison, 3 tackles and 2 sacks. Skyly Helton, Lucas Braden, Keegan McGee, and Curtis Reed each had a tackle. The White Knights take on Edgewood at home. Mustangs win 25-12. Creedmoor, 8 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown. Also had 9 passing yards. Brody Weichel, 6 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Grayson Moss, 2 carries for 32 yards. Leighton Curtis had a carry, 7 yards, reception for 9. On defense, Grayson Moss was everywhere, had 7 tackles on the day. Wade Wood, 4 tackles and a TFL. Brody Weichel, 3 tackles and a TFL. Max Sheridan had 3 tackles. Leighton Curtis with 2. Benny Foxworthy and Emmerich Johnson with 1. Now we have Junior League. Silver Knights went to Owen Valley, battle of the undefeateds, and the Silver Knights are now number 1 in the South Division Junior Division, South Division Minors Division, something like that. They're number 1 in their own division, 18-6 Knights with the dub. Grayson Forqual, we're getting fancy now. Grayson Forker, 129 yards and a touchdown. Kaiden Lark, 20 yards and 2 tutties. Landon Pestoff, 75 yards, and Cashton Lowry with 9 yards. On defense, Grayson Forker, 7 tackles and a fumble recovery. LP with 7 tackles and a forced fumble. Lincoln Trout and Zachary Marks with 4 tackles. Cashton Lowry with 3 and a forced fumble. Asher Loudermilk with 3. Jamison Arizmendi and Brody the Dump Truck, 2 tackles each. Then we have the Black Knights at home against Edgewood. The Knights win 13-6. Cam McCoy, 6 carries and 97 yards. Kyler Keith, 15 carries, 81 yards, a tutty, and an extra point. Xavier Gerchik, 11 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown. Max Pierce with a carry. Xavier Gerchik, 7 tackles, 3 TFLs, a sack, and a forced fumble. Colin Drury, 6 tackles, and a TFL. Jace Barker and Kyler Keith and Cam McCoy with 3 tackles. Max Pierce, Timmy Wood, Paxton Drury, Wyatt Hunley, Spencer Spillman, Devin the Destroyer, and my buddy Declan Dilly each had a tackle. Then we have some senior league action. Gray Knights versus Owen Valley. The Patriots win in overtime 12-6. Trenton the T-Train Monteith, 1 touchdown and a boatload of tackles. The White Knights host the Edgewood Mustangs. Knights win 36-8. Javon Robinson, 6 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 57-yard kickoff return to the house. Dalton DeWig, 5 carries, 89 yards, and a 2-point conversion. Cree Staley, 4 carries, 9 yards, and a tud. Easton Herbert had a catch and a 2-point conversion. Jay Sorman, 2 carries for 11. On defense, Jonah Hollywood Harrington, 10 tackles. Javon Robinson with 7. Easton Herbert, 7 tackles and a sack. Dalton DeWig and Jacob Greenwell, 5 tackles. Cree Staley, River Trussler, and Parker Neese with 3 tackles. Damian Spain, Jerome Robinson, Grayson Goshen, and Jack Dirth with 1. The Maroon Knights take on Edgewood at home. The Knights shut out Edgewood 18-0. Eli Marlowe, 6 carries, 74 yards, and a tud. Landon Zabo, 2 carries, 17 yards, 2 catches for 19 and a touchdown. Billy McVeigh had a carry, 7 carries, 55 yards, 4 pass completions for 53 yards, and a tud. And Lucas Harrison, 1 carry, 9 yards, 1 reception for 12, and a touchdown. On defense, Earl Donald led the way, 7 tackles. Jace Hickman, 3 tackles and a fumble recovery. Colton Jones, Eli Marlowe, and Camden Sturley with 2 tackles. Landon Zabo with a tackle and fumble recovery. Thatcher Flick and Bentley McVeigh with a tackle. Now we got some Clay Youth Soccer Club. We have the Comets taking on Danville. The Comets win 5-2, and then the Comets took on the Terre Haute Premier. Comets win 3-0. AJ Tipton had 8 saves. Cade Westfall with 7. Joey Sirianni had 4 goals. Brandon Hatcham, 2 goals. AJ Tipton and Kyle Mapes had a goal. And Giorgio Jabor had an assist. And then the 13U Comets faced Ben Davis. The Giants win 4-1. Now we have some fall ball action. We have the Warriors. The Warriors, 8U Warriors went down to Terre Haute. They played in the Swing for the Cure tournament. Here's how they fared. Warriors took on Outcast Powers. The Warriors win 18-4. North Thiemann, 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and 3 doubles. Delaney Wilson, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a triple. Emerson Osborne, 2 hits and 2 RBIs. And Raylan Wallace with 2 doubles. Then the Warriors faced the Outcast Wolf team. Warriors win big, 16-2. Lily Lumsden, 3 hits, 3 ribbies, a double, and a triple. North Thiemann, 3 hits and a ribby. Delaney Wilson, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, a double, and a home run. Warriors then take on Pro X Phoenix. That's a mouthful to say. Warriors win 17-8. Addie Peters, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and a triple. Raylan Wallace, 3 hits, 2 ribbies, a double, and a triple. North Thiemann and Delaney Wilson, 3 hits and an RBI. Then the Warriors take on the Indiana Tribe. The Warriors win 13-11. Delaney Wilson, 3 hits, 2 ribbies, and a triple. North Thiemann, 3 hits. Addison Peters, a double. Then we get to the Warriors facing the Indiana Magic Gold. The Magic edge out the Warriors 13-12. Raylan Wallace, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and a double. Delaney Wilson, 3 hits and a ribby. Emory Fields with 3 hits. And then the Warriors face the Gators. The Gators win 14-13. Lily Lumsden, Alice Rusin, and Aubrey Alsansky, 3 hits and a ribby. North Thiemann with 3 hits. Ellie Meisner, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double. Willow Stranger with 2 hits and a ribby. And Raylan Wallace with a double. Now we move to the 10U. We have the Gators. The Gators and the Braves. Sorry, I'm looking around my camera to see my full screen. You now know I use a screen. We're going to start with the Gators. They actually did win. Let me scroll over here. Gators did win the Swing for the Cure in the 10U division. Congratulations. Keep pushing there. Gators start off against the Outcast. Wish I had a water boy. Gators take on the Outcast. Gators win 18-6. Tinley Wilkins, 3 hits and a ribby. Landry Clapp, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, and a triple. Rylan Strange, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Adeline Walters, 2 hits and a ribby. And then Sophia Wallace, a double and a triple. And Madeline Moss with a triple, excuse me. Ellis Kula, 3 strikeouts. And then the Gators face the Indiana Heat. The Gators win 12-4. Ellis Kula had a hit and a ribby, and Chloe Hoskins, 5 strikeouts on the mound. Gators then take on the Outcast Kent team. The Gators win 11-1. Jocelyn Sanders, 2 hits and a ribby. Madeline Moss with 2 hits. Rylan Strange, a hit and 2 RBIs. And Tinley Wilkins with 3 strikeouts. Gators take on the Eagles Select. Gators win 2-1. Maylee Hoggett had a hit, a ribby, and a home run. Adeline Winters, a hit, a ribby, and a double. And Chloe Hoskins, 10 strikeouts. Gators face the Indiana Heat again. The Gators win 14-4. Ellis Kula, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Chloe Hoskins, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, a double, and a triple. Tinley Wilkins, 2 hits and a double. Claire Reedy hit, 2 RBIs and a triple. Maylee Hoggett had a hit, 2 RBIs, and a home run. And then, where are we at here? There we are. Gators take on the Eagles Select. Gators win 6-5. Sophia Wallace had 2 hits and a double. Chloe Hoskins had 5 strikeouts. And then we move to some Braves action. Shakamak Lady Braves take on the Outcast. Braves win 12-2. Addie Griffith, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and a home run. Harper Cox, 3 hits and a ribby. Hayden Ray had 8 strikeouts. The Braves then take on the Indiana Heat. Josie Rash had a hit, an RBI, and a triple. Congratulations. Jalen Stewart, 5 strikeouts. Braves versus Eagles Select. Eagles win 8-3. Harper Cox had a hit and a double. Addie Griffith had 2 strikeouts. And I totally just realized at this moment in time that I messed up my power performer. So that's on me. So when you see that, it's going to be messed up. So that's my fault. Braves then take on the Outcast, 10-7. Josie Rash, 2 hits and an RBI. Zoe Cox, 2 hits. Hayden Ray had a hit, a ribby, and a double. Addie Griffith, Brooke Fender, Scarlett Copeland, and Esma Burris had a hit and a ribby. Harper Cox with a triple, and Hayden Ray with 4 strikeouts. That's what happens on this, You try your best and you should make mistakes. But you know what? We're human. And I got this big floppy hat on, so you got to love me. Chaos. Some Chaos action. They are playing on Sundays. Chaos take on Rockville Icon. The Chaos win 14-4. Cole Sessinger had 3 hits and an RBI. Elijah Farron, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Patrick Stevens, 2 hits and a double. And Reed Robinson had a home run. Elijah Farron and Cruz Shepard with 2 strikeouts. And then this Chaos take on the Junior Sycamores. Chaos win 13-3. Reed Robinson had 2 hits and 3 RBIs. Wyatt Tabler and Jack Durth had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Parker Hazlitt with 2 hits. And Reed Robinson and Cole Sessinger with 3 strikeouts. There's a lot. I got to start exercising, get in shape. Now we have some Riley Fall Rec League, the junior rookies. We have Nolan the Hurricane Harden, baby. He got 2 hits. Bailey Payne had 4 putouts, and Reese Sanquinetti had 1 putout. All the kids played positions great and made huge improvements. Now we move to the minor league. Team Harden wins 9-5. Louis Baylor had a double. Tony Munez and Aiden Trueblood with a single. On the mound, Max Harden, 6 strikeouts, and Louis Baylor with 3. This was Louis Baylor's first kid pitch game. He did pretty good. Pretty good. Good job, Louis. Now we got the Wabash Valley Sluggers, 15U. They took on the Indiana Crimson. Crimson win 8-4. Keegan Altspeter, 2 hits and a ribby. Bryce Branson hit, 2 RBIs and a double, and then 6 strikeouts for Keegan as well. Sluggers then take on the SEI Havoc. Sluggers shut out the Havoc. It's 10-0. Cooper Lovett, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Oliver Frank had a hit and 2 RBIs. Keegan Altspeter with a triple, and Bruce Landis, 2 strikeouts on the mound. Sluggers then take on TBD. The Sluggers win 5-0. Bruce Landis, a hit, a ribby, and a double. Bryce Branson, a hit, a ribby, and a triple. Bowen Smith with a double. And Bowen Smith, 5 strikeouts on the mound. Congratulations. Sluggers then take on the Lou BSB. The Lou wins 10-3. Bruce Landis, a hit, a ribby, and a homer. Keegan Altspeter with a hit and a ribby. And then Bryce Branson and Keegan Altspeter with a strikeout on the mound. Now we move to Westfield. I don't know which direction we're going, but we go up to Westfield. Their 9U Gold Rocks take on the Fishers Express. The Express win 10-2. Hudson Burkhart had a hit and a double and 3 strikeouts on the mound. And then the Westfield take on Miller's Gold. I got to turn the camera. I didn't really turn it that bad. Millers win 13-9. Luke Lawfrey, 2 hits and a ribby. Tully Jones had a hit and a double. And Griffin Wellington had 8 strikeouts. Like I said, it's been a busy week. Now we get to my favorite part of the show. And your power performers this week are Carson Buck, Lauren Horn, Bryce Branson, Cole Stevens, Sean Vester, Caden Blodgett, Tim Turner Jr., Zane Scales, Clayton Burgess, Case Bath, Colt Sims, Sebastian Dighton, Hunter McBride, Kaiden Lark, Xavier Gerchick, Jonah Harrington, Bentley McVeigh, Delaney Wilson, Harper Cox, Tully Jones, AJ Tipton, Louis Baylor, and Reed Robinson. Congratulations. And also, since it's football season, we got to pay tribute to the big hog mollies up front. And this week's Trench Warriors are, for the youth, Cruz the Boogeyman Shepherd, Jacob Greenwell, Luke Leslie, Jace Hickman, Colin Drury, Lincoln Trout, Oliver Jemison, Max Sheridan. And congratulations, young ones, now for the big guys. Carter Raines, Dawson Cheshire, the entire Terre Haute South offensive line, Aiden Sparks, Skylar Jackson, Joel Hara, Jace Paddock, Cam Major, Logan Ham. Congratulations. So that will do it for this edition of the Youth Sports Chowdown. Thank you for hanging out with me. Enjoy your week. And be sure to watch the highlights. There are going to be more coming throughout the week. So thank you. Once again, we're out of here. Keep pushing. Where's my video? Bye. Enjoy. Bye-bye. That's not it. That's why I need a person. It said highlight, but it's untitled design. That's what I get.